Time to fill some hard drives. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Grimstone Chronicles Season 4, Episode 39. I am your DM and host, Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew on this very unlikely of days to stream, a Monday evening. How's everyone doing on this fine Monday?
We need more game!
Well, I leave for a while, and if the whole idea is like, Brennos needs to go and kill the ghosts in the hole, well, I won't be around, and...
All right.
These two goobers getting my character dead while I'm gone.
Done.
Goobers. So much respect.
What does Brennos do? He's going to fire a bow, obviously.
I even think I took the bow off my sheet. He now throws hammers. He doesn't even have a bow. He's like, no, hammer is the way.
He starts chucking all the weapons.
He just starts throwing them. They're all returning, aren't they? So he threw all of his stuff.
There's something in there returning. We'll just use that when it comes back.
Barnabus is going to say a quick prayer to Asmodeus and give Barnabas credit. So,
Come back, he's got a single deity. His alignment's changed.
Just come back.
He's got no gear.
new gear.
No
He's given
gear.
up the blade of tear because it's too good.
So it's a good thing that I was just like, I did the check, because when you introduce characters at a slightly higher level, sometimes you forget the basics. Marty,
Mm-hmm.
in the cabin in the woods, is there a non-magical dagger that Brennos could put on his sheet just in case he gets eaten by a fucking worm?
Sure.
Dude.
You know what? It's masterwork.
Thank you. I was going to put that down.
You did it.
You did it. Yeah, because I was like, none of my characters have daggers. I'm like, what am I doing? The guys are going to make so much fun of me when I absolutely get eaten.
But it's more like a kitchen knife. It's not a throwing dagger. It's like a dagger you use in your hand.
Like a cleaver.
Yeah.
Or cleaver.
But
I'm gonna make a little note. Cannot be thrown.
It has the same property as Aemon's blade. What's it?
Hey guys.
Vicious.
This is
This knife sucks.
Cabin in the Swamp. It's a druid stronghold that Sunny and the others found in Chapter 2 when they were seeking out the dragon's treasure. The horde that the cult of the dragon was, or the cult of the chromatic ascendancy was trying to gather to give to Tiamat eventually. So when they came across this place, they're now using it as a place to hide out because they know that they've got some powerful entities, including a demon lord, that for some reason wants them. And Barnabus has, in the last few games, figured out some of, at least it has a good enough answer as to why they may want him.
We have more Ciara foes than friends.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the party for the last couple of games has been teleporting back here as a place to rest, as it's got some healing qualities as well as it's a good spot for their Mage's Private Sanctum. Did you guys permanent Mage's Private Sanctum it, or did
No,
it
this one has
It already has
It
it.
already had it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what powers this place had. I think there's a write up.
And it gives us a +1 caster level for a day when we sleep here.
No.
Okay, I mean, my bad.
I believe there's certain druid spells that are packed that way, but not just as general.
Cabin in the Swamp.
You can tell I was sarcastic when I was saying it.
Protection from elements, magic illumination inside, creatures have total concealment. As for the tiny hut spell, nourishing vines, cabin of many trees. I don't see the Mage's Private
Yeah, I
Sanctum
think it
on
was
here.
cast. I think
Okay.
it's temporarily cast.
So, temporarily cast, or...
I don't know if we spent the money for the permanent one.
Okay.
It has some like cover properties, like Tiny Hut provides some cover, but not
Yep.
infinite.
Okay, so somebody needs to be burning a what is it, a 5th level slot per day?
I'm a mere sorcerer. You can't expect me to be.
Yeah, it would be a 5.
Anyways, so we dove in. We dove in right away. Why don't we do the how'd you do's and then the recap and then the we got excited there.
No.
So Adam, what's new with you? Since Saturday.
Since Saturday, I finished beating the original System Shock, like the enhanced edition of it. So a game from a first-person shooter horror game RPG survival horror thingy from 1994. Once you get past the stupid control system, like the control scheme was like, they wanted to make it look like you were Hacker Man from the 90s. So there's like a button to look up and a button to look down and a button to go left and a button to go right and a button to go forward, and they're not in the pattern you think they are. But it is a game from like 1994 where you look up, you look down, you have to aim your gun, right, to shoot at things. And then there's a thing to toggle the mouse because the mouse also has to click. And then if you want to like reload your weapon, it's control freaking question mark is reload. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's control other bracket to change ammo. Like it's
Fun.
oh, it's all sorts of weird.
And every time you click to remap your buttons, it just randomly assigns them.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff that you just can't even do. So it's all sorts of weird. Like I've been using S to walk forward for a week now. Why S? Because they hate you. It's S to go forward. A and D are like are to slide left, slide right. Q, E are to turn left, turn right. You know, W is to stand up. Like it's just ridiculous.
This made sense to somebody.
This made sense to somebody. Now, once you get past the controls, it is one of the most advanced games. Like as an RPG exploration shooter first person game.
Yep.
The combat mechanics, the storytelling, the idea of having logs for your horror game, right? A bunch of logs about your evil AI taking over the world, and having like an ominous atmosphere and this sort of thing. Way ahead of its time. So there's a remake coming out that's supposed to be pretty faithful. Hopefully that thing is a little bit more playable because that control scheme is a hill. Like I tried playing this a few years ago. I spent an hour or two trying to figure out the controls and I couldn't get out of the first room. So I'm like, well, it wasn't meant to be. This time I'm like I buckled down and like, no, I will read the entire list of stupid commands because there isn't just like, well, here's your walk around and here's your do stuff. No, it's not that. But the game is glorious, like upgrades and exploration and RPG elements, and it's like the best parts of like a Dead Space mixed with the best parts of like a Deus Ex. Like it's really good. You should play System Shock 2 if you haven't. That's the long and the short of it. Go play System Shock 2. It's very much the same game, but with better controls.
Mark?
I got a haircut.
Yep.
I like it. Moving on.
Ahmed? They still not give you power yet? You are muted if
You're muted.
Chiming in.
Lovely bucket of flowers baking behind you.
Yeah, I still don't have any power. I hate it. On the what else? I found another AI map building tool called Chronos Builder. It's similar to Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist seems more sophisticated in terms of building fantasy stuff, but Chronos Builder allows you to add multiple floors. I don't know how, and it lets you it has other like map building like tools for like a fantasy, future, steampunk, space.
You can
so
reskin it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, they even have like tanks and stuff like that. So it looks pretty interesting to use. So I bought it. Waiting to get the license. It's on Kickstarter. Should be soon. Let you know how it goes.
Cool.
I can
I'll tuck that in the back of my head. I'm like, how do I save time in DM prep for something?
Yeah. Tell me if you want to like a map.
Likes making maps apparently.
I like making. My maps are getting good hits on the
So
Oh.
Ahmed is buying software that doesn't even exist yet, and Adam is playing software that's damn near 30 years old.
I went on a big. I'm more in the Adam camp. I went on a big. Since we started playing Baldur's Gate every once in a while, I'm like, I'm just gonna start a game because I'm not getting my fix. So I have a game of Baldur's Gate going. We just got to Baldur's Gate, so I finished all that exploration. I did every single zone before Baldur's Gate. And then I started an Icewind Dale game. I'm in the second last chapter of that one. I finished Black Pits with a different group of characters, and that group of characters now in Siege of Dragonspear, which is the story between Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And I think out of all those groups, at least the ones that are compatible, I'll pick the ones I want to play in Baldur's Gate 2. I'll pick my favorite characters. And so far, the
6 archers.
well, everyone in the back rank needs to be an archer of some sort. And this time I'm like, fine, I'm gonna make a crossbow build for one of these groups.
Is there like a beholder problem at some point in that game?
No,
Because-
wizards, demons, mind flayers. They're all like they just liches. They all just sort of show up as cloaked in all of their magic.
Okay.
And it's like to touch them sometimes it's hard. So I created. I'm like I'm gonna do crossbows. So I created Roger. from Dread and Circus. I made him a 9th level wizard slayer, which is a template of or a kit for fighter.
That's funny.
And then when I hit 9th level, I dual classed him, which means I started over at first into rogue. So he's my rogue, who I've just caught up with his 9th level. So he's got his powers back. So he's a rogue that fires this magic crossbow really quickly, and it screws up spellcasters basically.
Nice.
Dispels and makes them miscast their magic. And yeah, so dual classing, 9 levels of fighter, and then building a cleric, and then building a wizard, or then building a rogue is the way that you win the game if you import characters and restart. Otherwise, you have to wait until you've gotten that 9th level XP again. Well, you still do, but you don't get those powers back. But if you're playing iterations of the game, anyways. So that's been that. And then I watched.
BRB, I'm listening.
I'm caught up with Mandalorian. I rewatched season 1, 2, and Boba Fett, kind of while I was playing Baldur's Gate, so like to stop it for the good scenes. And I'm like, it was Boba Fett really that bad with the Power Rangers scooters? Yep, that episode was really that bad. I had to pause it and just go.
It is renowned across the internet as the slowest chase scene ever.
So
it's how did they make the scooters from Return of the Jedi slow?
It's like on par with Jar Jar Binks, kind of bad. Like,
Don't worry,
horrible.
Star Wars is
So out of place.
yep.
Star Wars is in good hands. They've announced their next major film, and it's going to be based on Rey Palpatine being apparently preggers with Adam Driver's Ghost Baby. What could possibly go wrong?
Anyways, I'm not finished Mandalorian because the last 2 episodes aren't out yet, so I'm caught up. The latest season is like a lot of focus on Bo-Katan. I don't mind the actress. I don't mind the character, so it's okay. It's just not just the Mandalorian and the kid going and kicking ass. There's a whole Mandalorian politics thing that.
Well, isn't the main arc to like reclaim their homeworld?
Yeah.
Reclaim Mandalore.
Yeah.
Which I thought in the original extended universe was destroyed. It wasn't just like they were ejected. I thought it was like the Empire did, as they would.
Oh, they expanded.
As they've done a few times.
They expanded it. It's fine. It's Star Wars. It's like The Mandalorian is one of the better Star Wars series or shows. So it did the trick for the Star Wars fix. Let's do a recap of what happened last game.
They're screaming.
So, Sunny, obsessed with finding the Observatory of Rest, convinces the party to make another jaunt to the flooded ruins of the ancient Elven city. Last game was Strange Observations. The Steelrose Expeditionary League visits the ruins of an observatory and face the Banshees of Rest. During the battle, they are spied upon by a mad crystal dragon who is stuck in a nearby pocket dimension. Sunny receives a strange letter. Cog puts his healing cloak to good use. The ash clouds from Imulga Mons eruption continue to block the nighttime sky. And I left out a few details there because, I don't want to give away the entirety of what happened. I was very pleased with that fight because the very, very powerful characters, 8 of them, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4.
A lot of them.
7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Right, you've got an extra. Okay, yeah. 10 of them were very, very cautious.
Well, when the Banshees scream can kill like half the characters outright.
Yeah, it was just
And
it was
goes
just
through
pleasing.
Silence.
The last few big fights, and there's been a lot of XP, so I got to be careful. The Balor of Slimes and the Banshees of Rest were 2 fights that I was pleased with. How I still can challenge the characters.
Although it would have been nice if you would have reminded Sunny that he just had to heighten the fucking spell, and then we would have not had to worry about the dying thing.
Dude, I gave you access to the entirety of the.
I was picking my wife up, and it was Mark had access.
How did you not know that?
Exactly. Yep. No, we were playing with fire. Playing with fire. That's what we're doing. We're playing with the fiery thing.
Yeah, you've got books of knowledge in your head. The idea is to bring the right knowledge forward at the right time.
Exactly.
And and this time it was like, okay, they're not going to do that. Fine.
Oh, well, obviously that spell won't work. Why? Well, it was the wrong level. It's like, that was the problem? Shit.
I have the feats and everything. Yeah.
Yep, it was. Oh.
All right. The party rests for a little bit of time at the cabin in the swamp. While the party was deciding who's going to do what, it looks like the group of Agony, Sunny, Thogrim, and Quintessa were going to start gathering components to build a lens, which does involve taking a trip, the party believes, to the closer vicinity to the eruption of Imulga Mons. Also, Sunny wants to check out some things there that he saw weeks ago when he was still transfixed with the Farseer of Rest. And find the what do you think is in the ruins that you're convinced is there?
So, within Imulga Mons,
Yes.
Curdleback died.
Yes.
And Curdleback had stolen an egg from Tiamat.
That is
Or
the
been
story.
retrieving an egg from Tiamat that was stolen by Garl Glittergold. And in this conflagration, obviously a spawn of or aspect of Tiamat is growing in the mountain. And if anything other than that is growing in the mountain, Sunny owes Barnabus a pie.
Specifically an apple pie, I believe. But
Specifically
sure.
an apple pie from the Goodman Orchards.
Got it. So this group is going to go, and the reason why they are going to find a lens is that even the Farseer of Rest and the Observatory of Rest, that contraption is still being blocked by the dust from the ash and dust that is in the atmosphere from the volcanic disruption or eruption, and the fog cutter glasses should have worked if there wasn't some sort of extra property to the dust that is continuing to obscure and has been obscuring the starry sky on Volcanica for quite some time.
That would be the bits of Curdleback, I suspect. It doesn't quite qualify as dust. It's more bits.
Atmospheric chunks.
I'm the Druid of Volcanica. I know these things.
Seems like a good theory. While the others, as Barnabus has been chomping at the bit since the death of the Ghost Lord, to go back to the Ghost Lord's lair and actually plunder it for its secret.
Which does make sense. He did consign his soul to hell to destroy the Ghost Lord.
Yep.
Or to keep himself from being destroyed by the Ghost Lord. 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Little from column A, little from column B.
All right. While the party was taking like a day to rest, as the day prior was pretty strenuous, dealing with the Banshees, Brennos and Cog do get a missive magically from Emiria that she will be waiting in Denovar with your armor and I forget what, like his amulet or something. I know I keep on asking, but I forget.
I think it is an amulet.
Yeah. So
well, let's see. We're gonna go. The plan today is to go roll the Ghost Lord, the Ghost Lord's lair. Let's pick a god to go roll the Ghost Lord's lair.
Let's pick one that hates the undead.
Yeah, or at least, yeah.
Or at least doesn't like them.
Yeah, correct. Wait a sec. We don't have Agony with us, so being a goody little two shoes won't get him looking at me funny. Yeah. We're going to actually worship a Stillabor today. Greetery, the Horde Mistress.
Okay, I'll ask the question. Who the hell is that?
The Acquisitor, the Horde Mistress. Acquisition, like the god of being greedy. We're going to go collect the treasure hoard.
Oh, the patron saint of our party. Gotcha.
The patron saint of greed is what we're. Yeah.
okay. As you're calling out to Astalabor or Stillabor, Stillabor, okay, who is the neutral draconic deity of acquisition, sort of a non-evil greed dragon.
Yep.
You begin to feel that there's something a little bit off as you're making the connection. The purple gem in the blue shield with a starburst, gold starburst around it, starts to glow a little bit, almost like it's the same glow that is coming from the Barnabus gem that is in his forehead.
Wait a second.
Do you continue growing the connection, or are you going to break it off?
We're gonna break that off. That's weird, man.
Give me a knowledge religion.
Yeah. Something funky going on. Somebody's turncoating or forgetting their name, one of the two. 28. 34 if it's to identify a specific creature.
Astalabor is no longer an independent deity and has bent the knee to the glimmer of Geode.
Oh. Fuck that.
Welcome to my flock.
This deity, instead of fighting against old god versus new, is now... You don't think... The fact that you called out to Astalabor and still got the god, you think it's in the process of being absorbed into the new god religion. She represents the draconic desire to acquire treasure and wealth.
Yeah.
And the measure of treasure being your measure of status in draconic society.
Yeah, this is that is not good. I know that's like, all right. I'll be another few minutes. Fancy Pants. Last time you talked to Gio, did he say anything about Astalibur?
No, he said, get me some souls. And that would be what I told you we need to kill him. Or at least the dragon.
When you want it done, let me know.
I'll let you know.
I'm in. I'm in.
We've got some preliminary plans to weaken him first.
Fucking damn good. Well, he just needs to be shown. He just needs to be shown the way home. Just a wayward. He's just wayward. Yeah, he's like, yeah, he does not like that. All right, so.
I have a feeling Brennos is going to be very sad at the end of this campaign.
I just looked at my morality grid. I need to do something. I don't want to talk to Emiria while worshiping a chaotic evil deity. Can I prepare in the middle?
You could wait to prepare your spells and go talk to Emiria, assuming that someone else is teleporting to Denevar to go.
Yeah. So yeah, I will talk to Emiria without preparing my spells, and then I will prepare. I think we're going to go with Garrix just because we're gonna go kick some ass. So fucking burn and renew the space. That seems appropriate. Also, I've got like 50s in my law and good, and I need something in my chaos and evil, otherwise things go not good. Things start to go. They start to question my commitment to the cause.
All right, so Brennos and Cog, who's bringing them to Denevar? You guys could have rested here for a couple of days, so you don't need to leave right this second. Barnabus.
Why not? Let's have Quintessa bring them to Denevar.
Okay.
Then we've got 3 players.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to move you to the conversation layer. Put you guys here. Oh, there's a bunch of you already there. You meet Emiria, the Platinum Lady. She seems to have been waiting. Well, not long. She smiles when she sees all of you. She bows to Brennos. Her eyes do glance at the silver sword. It's almost like she was looking for it on your person to make sure you still had it.
It's still there.
I bring glad tidings from the Nephiles, she says. You could see your armor was wrapped up and it was like partially unwrapped and it's sitting on the table and it's gleaming. And then Cog, it was an amulet that she was working on, or was it a bracer? It was an amulet, right? The extra ring slot in the amulet was what you wanted?
Modified elf hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
Was it just one? I think there was. I can't remember how expensive it was. Anyway, so I think I've asked more than one, but it's fine if it's just one.
How many ring slots do you want to?
Multiple. We should all have this thing. Hello, McFly.
The crafts of the Nephiles are done, at least for now. I also spoke to the Imperial Administrator. It appears that your staff is complete ahead of time.
Oh, I'll be useful. It's been a busy few days of fighting. It'll be nice getting armor on again. It's mighty breezy running around in a robe.
She smiles. Cog,
Yes.
the Githyanki remains in their... the Githzeri remains in their prison. The one that you captured?
Yes. We never roleplayed me sending to my master, did we?
Please do let me know when you are ready to transfer the prisoner into the custody of his own people.
I shall communicate. I apologize, I did not. I shall communicate with the Githzeri and understand what to do with them.
He still remains changed
Unconnected.
from the dangerous ice artifact.
Does he seem more responsive, or is he still in his own world?
He's dangerous. You will need to take custody of him with great restraint.
Understood. Thank you.
The Nephiles do have ways of stymieing his powers. They have kept him rather immobile.
No, I understand. If we might proceed with a more depending on what his people say, we might have to deal with him here through the cell itself.
He's proven very resistant to interrogations and actually cares very little about his well-being. The threat of being disintegrated does nothing to him. He is completely a mind slave to the artifact. He seeks to go back to it. They have restraints on him that will block teleportation. They will want these restraints back, as I understand the magic is expensive.
Understood. No, I shall communicate. I shall return with a response very shortly.
Okay, she looks relieved that she doesn't have to deal with that today. Dangerous psionic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought I had it in the back of my mind. I completely forgot to do it. I have to do a sending to my master regarding him.
Meh. He'll be fine. He's a tough dude. He's got
I think
got a
it's
whole
gonna
fraternity to deal with that can help him.
It's gonna come down with teleport.
Don't
Like
listen to the
disintegrate.
negative influence.
It's gonna come down to disintegrate a few times, I think.
Just listen to Barnabus.
Barnabus isn't there.
He's always there. He lives in the back of your mind, rent free.
Rent free. You actually pay him to live there.
It's Quintessa, a fellow monk. You do run into a lieutenant, Scritch, I believe his name is. Oh, I didn't realize that you were back.
Be here shortly. We're off to. We're collecting freedoms and more information.
Yes, we could very much use you, your services and your powers. There have been a number of draconic attacks in Elsia Vale as of late.
Alright, you got a list or something?
I do not have the report with me right now, but I was instructed to when you're available that we should employ your services or whomever's available in your group.
Well, give up. You got a list? I'm pretty certain Barnabus would want some sort of bounty list or something like that?
As long as you got 60,000 XP worth of dragons.
No, these
We
dragons.
get danger pay.
These dragons are not. How shall we say? At least we don't think they're local. They might be infiltrators, or they've been rather crafty in avoiding our magi and our inquisitor, and more recently the inquisitors.
Any of them got purple gems on them?
I don't think so. You mean, are they geodics? No. The report said that there was a small, possibly several green dragons, very stealthy, and they've been attacking people from our interior, very close to Fortress Top. They might be spelunking or raiding. Many of the Inquisitors have left Fortress Top and have, with the recent events in Overlook, the fact that, well, most of the population has already left that city, filtered by the Imperial Inquisitors, of course.
What about those that didn't pass filtering?
They were doppelgangers and they were slain. There shouldn't be anyone at Fortress Top. Maybe a few, but the report would have whomever should be residing there. There is a small contingent of Inquisitors that have kept that is keeping looters from returning to the Elven capital, but there might not be enough of them to withstand these draconic attacks.
Fortress Top, anyone else?
Well, all over that region. We don't know what their lair is, and we don't know their names. We were hoping to employ your help, he says. He looks at Cog. We understand there's...
Absolutely.
We understand there's an elf under there.
He's a little wee, but he's in there.
You're right. I'm here, and I'll definitely be able to support you.
Excellent. Yes. Whenever you're done with whatever you're doing, he says. I have to go to a progress meeting. We could talk later if you're still here. And there's
I'll be around.
hustle and bustle, like there's lots of people going to and fro. This structure, this building in Denevar seems to be an important, I guess, military nerve center. A lot of communications going back and forth. It seems like things are being organized. The look on people's faces looks kind of determined. There is fear here.
Moment, you're kind of loud on your end.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't mute that. Sorry.
So,
Lieutenant Scritches took off. Amiria was listening, and she's actually like deep in thought.
You're familiar with Astilabor, yes?
The counter of coins, she says.
Hey. Forgetting is trading her name away.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
If you knew anyone that calls out to her, she's merging with the Geode. It's hard to explain, but it's not... She's taking picked ranks amongst the unnamed gods.
Curious. How do you know this?
Well, I asked her for her support, and she basically referred me to Geode.
You gotta redirect to Geodes.
Doo-doo-doo. You have reached out. Please find.
That's not the number I dialed.
We need to find a way to wake Bahamut up. I'm pretty certain he can whip everybody into line again.
She seems to be staring off in space and nodding at this. She's not disagreeing.
If you can figure out a way to do that, whether it needs to be a horn that's blown, or a bill that's rung, or a skull that gets knocked upon, let me know. I can blow, I can ring, and I can knock skulls.
Turns out later it's a sweater that needs knitting, and Brennos is like, fuck!
Tiamat's power and influence on this world grows by the day.
Well, this isn't just Tiamat's world, it's Bahamut's.
In the meantime,
Then be fine words.
you should keep your eye out for any allies. I think this war has deepened. And if it has not yet come to the borders of these lands, to the Imperial-controlled lands, it will. It has. It will get worse. The Nephalese are in negotiations with the Prince of Volcanica, she says. She seems uncertain about the title and perhaps uncertain about the man.
Quintessa just kind of purses her lips at the mention of the prince.
Yep.
Brennos is gonna somewhere. Sonny's like, just a nice little, it'll be fine. We can get a little wheel, a little thing from water, it'll be fine. Get lots of exercise. You can eat all the carrots he wants.
This news about Astalabor, many misjudge this goddess as a goddess of greed. It is more like the goddess of perfection of one's horde. Unfortunately, no one knows where she resides from a godly perspective. One way that she has kept her own perfect hoard or wealth protected is that no mortal or god alike knows exactly where her lair is. Some believe that it was hidden in somewhere in the chaotic rambles of limbo. And that is contained...
This is one of those... You'd think that if you're not trying to second guess, it's just that if the whole point is for it to be perfect, but nobody can see it being perfect, then is it really perfect,
No one knows where it is. That does not mean that she does not go to and for, and that there have not been witnesses to her hoard.
I mean, it's like, oh, the fancy pants with the fancy pants, but nobody sees the pants, then how fancy are they?
She was also known to be quite generous to reward those who did her well, that earned wealth in her name. Very troubling. She is a goddess that would have stood against Tiamat's naked display of greed and...
I don't know where the unnamed ones stand with, I don't know where between Tiamat and the unnamed gods, where he's kind of like pushing his head. Are they like this, or are they like this? Do they butt heads, or do they have parallel purpose? Because I know this, Geode claims this world. Tiamat claims this world. Tiamat will wipe the floor with Geode. It's not even fucking close. But, I mean, it's confusing. I don't understand.
The old gods are more like us. The new ones are more like entities, forces.
They're almost conceptual.
Yes.
People are inspired by concepts. The hearts of men and dwarves alike are inspired by actions and tales. Stories of greatness and glory, or woe and despair. Fable and myth and legend. None of this, oh, it just feels the way it feels bullshit.
You also forget people are also disappointed by people.
How else would you fall? What we disfavor, of course, disappointment's a thing. You know, sometimes you don't grow up the way you should. Sometimes your kingly aspirations turn into a street urchin begging.
The point being, you cannot be disappointed by an ocean or a breeze. It is what it is. When your mother or father fails you, or your god, that's taken more personally.
I'm sorry that my words bring discord and not comfort. I fear that many of the things that I had once known, while they are coming back to me slowly over time, they did not include this way of worship. I believe that I am older than these new gods.
No way, no how will a wave inspire legions of dwarves to lay down their lives for something.
Well, apparently light will, so...
Shut it.
Quintessa just puts up her hands like, oh, yeah, you got me. I lose the argument.
If she were Barnabas, she'd like cast light on a rock and he'd be like, worship.
Do it, dwarf. You with your underground eyes.
On your knees.
I feel that the Nephilis have much to offer this world, even though the island nation is small.
Well, they've got a purity that I think they've been able to maintain through that isolation.
I should return to them and continue to speak on behalf of the Elsir Vale and the goodly folk that will stand against this tide.
Just I knew which way it was coming.
You have our support. Looks around. Questionably. Well, mine at least.
Good. I will contact you again when there's more to report.
Ascending will do.
It seems that you have your hands... that you will be busy here helping out the Vale.
Oh, we're going to be busy in lots of places. Our wizards know how to go between the planes. We're everywhere all at once.
I want to find out more about this legion that the Nephilis have fielded, that have sent to this distant world. Perhaps they could be recalled in a time of need.
A demon lord stepped foot on this plane. Or an aspect of it, I think, or something. And then a devil, an angel devil lady, popped in to kick its ass.
Barnabas claims it was the Archduke Zerial.
Zerial. She is a traitor to angel kind.
She kicked the shite out of the ooze demon.
She was quite useful in that fight. We were getting severely injured. So her presence
Zerial is not a devil.
was useful.
She is a fallen angel that has been subsumed by hell.
I suspect the sides of the upcoming fight are gonna be not as straight as one would like. They'll be kind of crooked, if you know what I'm saying. The angels and the Nephilim aren't gonna like that, but Brennos is like shrugging. If I choose between Demon Lord and the fallen angel lady with the Baelors, it's like, what am I supposed to say?
Okay.
Quintessa, sucking at diplomacy, just kind of smiles like,
Yeah, what you're saying to the Platinum Lady is not making her smile at all. She
No,
looks
it's
deeply
like-
concerned at
Yeah,
this, at
it's
what
like-
you're insinuating.
Well, it's
Listen, I think if she were forced to pick a side, she would pick the same
Yes.
side.
Yes, but Brennos' shrugs, chuckling, and raspberries are not convincing.
Well,
are not
he's-
convincing her at all.
he's exasperated, right? He's like, there's some bullshit. He's basically going, there's bullshit ahead because this is what happened. It's,
Troubling times indeed. She agrees with you to disagree.
Conceptually,
Yeah.
there's some bullshit. Yeah.
Good luck. She says. Oh,
Yes, indeed.
were you able to free McCath?
We still need to find a freedom spell.
Ah.
Haven't found it yet. That our wizards need to get better at wizarding. Apparently, it's not something priests can do.
Very well.
0 ranks in spellcraft. I'm just repeating what other people said.
Are there any dwarves with the freedom domain? Dwarven deities?
With the dwarves with the freedom domain? What are you talking about? No.
Dwarves are bound by the slightest rule.
There's like Thardhar or something like that.
He's got chaos and good, not
Okay.
freedom.
All right.
Nope. Nope. There's no freedom domain there. There might be a freedom domain in the
In the Draconic
the
Pantheon?
Draconic Pantheon, but the Draconic Pantheons are very how do you call it?
Not refined. They don't have a lot of the specialty domains.
Well, they're repetitious.
Yep.
There's a lot of scaly kind in there.
There's a lot of scaly kind. There's a lot of like
Yeah, Brennos suspects because they're an older race, they represented much more elemental things.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Amiria's going to take her leave.
okay.
The group teleports back to the cabin in the swamp. While they were gone, Agony had strolled over and saw, I guess, Cog had left. He waits until they get back.
Can Cog do the sending to his master now?
Sure.
Okay. Cog gets a sending. Cast sending to Zerthalis, Exalian. Here I can type it. Do you want me to type it in chat or just say it? It's not going to be long.
Yeah, you can say it out loud.
Yeah. So, Master, I have captured Scutherian, Psionic Master. He is not himself. He is changed beyond anything that I can heal. Oh, sorry. Pause. What is the device? The thing that changed him called? The sphere, the golden sphere, the seed.
The Seed of Winter?
The seed of winter changed him. What do I do?
How often can you do sending?
I can cast it 4 times a day.
Okay. So they have your master has questions about how has he changed, and eventually you give the answer that he's changed into like some sort of elemental being.
Yeah.
That he still has his powers, and he gets the context. They're gonna set a date where they will be ready to take the prisoner.
Are they going to get their butts over here? Or am I taking it there?
They're gonna do the prisoner transfer on the 10th week of spring.
Are they going to come up?
They don't have any means of getting to Nephelis.
So we have to take them.
So
okay,
you have to let Amiria know where to bring him.
She'll be able to do that?
Amiria is going to bring the prisoner to you. She can teleport.
Okay, so he's going to have to be unconscious, right? All right, she can deal with it if she wants to deal with it. Okay. Yeah, I give her the locate. I with one of the sendings, I'll arrange for them to meet her at the entrance to the what's it called? Oh God, the place with the star map, the temple.
Oh, okay.
And that's where they are, right?
Yeah, this was called what was it called?
Hey, everyday adventure. What's
Hey,
up,
how's it going?
Raiders?
Kashimoto, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Yes, the temple with the star map.
Yeah. So we will plan that with her and with them, and
Pyro.
I'm
Thanks
not
for
going to
the
necessarily be there.
You're not going to be there. You're just arranging for your
sending
master to meet up with Amiria on their own.
I might not be there. I might be fighting dragons.
I see. Okay,
I might not be there. I will try to be there.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Cog had gone outside for a bit, outside of the cabin in the swamp, to cast his sending. Slake was already out there. He was using this new oil can that he has to. Hey, look what I found! Dug around and found some treasure and rest. Think they might have used this on their old observatory.
Who's he speaking to?
He's speaking to Cog.
What? Can I see it?
Yeah, it's a jade inlaid, fanciful looking oil can. There's no magic to it. It just looks fancy. Agony slips out when he sees his two friends, Cog and Slake, having a conversation outside. The two of you are going to go to the Ghost Lord's lair? Well, I'm not going to go to the Ghost Lord's lair. I'm going to go find our old wagon. You know the metal wagon?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're familiar with it, yeah. Well, they are.
Oh, Quintessa came outside. Agony was about to say something.
There's a lot of sad talk about gods, and she's not happy right now either.
Okay, so she goes outside too, as you guys are just watching this light rain kind of hit the swamp. Agony was about to say something and then you walked outside, and then he shut his mouth.
Cog recognizes this. He says, "We can talk later, but yes, I'm going to be going there." So Slake.
Well, maybe you should hear this too.
No. Do tell.
You're going with Quintessa's going with Sunny, right? Yeah.
With Sunny, yes.
Okay. Between Barnabus's greed and Brennos's valor, You're gonna have to be careful.
Why do you say that?
If we don't keep Brennos reined in, he's gonna bite off more than we can chew.
That's true.
He's talking about killing gods with swords. Just so that the two of you know. Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in for it. It's a Slake. He's...
Cog rolls his eyes, but literally like,
Yep.
like, oh. I don't understand his blades or his magics well, but I know he's very capable. I have to trust Barnabus on maybe that. But see, Barnabus is very well preserving of himself. Well, not as of late, but generally. And you're right. Brennos is kind of bullheaded, and perhaps he seeks more than he can face. I think putting them together actually provide good results.
Agony gently touches the mask of Tiamat that he wears, the thing that has turned him into the black dragon born half dragon, as opposed to the red that he was before. I have one god in my head. I can only imagine dozens.
He somehow manages.
Is he?
But fair enough. I'll keep an eye out for him.
It's not for him. I mean, keep an eye out for yourselves.
True. But he's a comrade.
Yes, but don't be a lemming.
Slake and I do intend to live forever, so
Speak for yourself. I'll sacrifice myself to sunder the weave.
ting.
You shouldn't have taught Slake these words.
It's not worth it, dwarf. There's other ways.
Fucking magic.
But yes, no, your words are quite
Quintess
they
is
ring
like
true.
standing behind him, like mimicking karate chops to the neck.
Slake has the painted smiley face on the back of his armor that Dee Dee had refreshed the last time you guys crossed paths with the Fae. Anyways, just Agony wanted to tell his friends to watch out because he thinks Brennos is crazy.
Agony doesn't have so much time with Brennos.
Nope.
Thinking Brennos is crazy, you're not wrong.
Oh, no, everyone who's heard, I'm going to kill gods, is like, okay, that's crazy.
Cog and Slake having
We'll
spent...
ride this train till it goes to the mountainside. Then we all jump off. Good luck.
Cog and Slake having spent time with Agony, Agony knows that he's more on the little bit more of the self-preservation scale than heroic. Agony's not rushing to sacrifice himself for anything. Little does he know he's wearing a godly artifact, and that decision might have already been made for him. But you get the sense that he doesn't like Brennos. Like there's a bit of that in what he just said.
He doesn't like the hugs from Bahamut being like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty certain I can take Agony though.
Yeah.
You just cast maze and fuck off. It's like, well, I guess I'm in here now.
He doesn't have 8s yet, but after seeing what Widget has done with a maze spell, that might be the first one.
Go away now, you bother me.
He does have greater teleport, just as a... Okay. The group, Barnabus and Aemon, Widget, Brennos, Cog, and Slake. We're going to go and check out the Ghost Lord's lair. It's been 6 months since you defeated the ancient druid lich. And Barnabas, finally time, we're going to go and loot his lair and face off with whatever minions he has that he has left. Of course, you sold your soul for this.
Whatever ghost minions.
Mark, you're
The
muted.
ghosts.
Muted, Mark.
Mark, you muted.
We don't know what
Du-du-du-du-du.
pithy things you're saying.
I said, no, he sold his soul for a bodyguard that keeps dying. He just remortgaged it.
Well, the bodyguard dies and you don't, so maybe it's still working. All right, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. I'm gonna bring you to the Thornwaste Badlands map.
So Barnabus got his armor. Sorry, Brennos got his armor, and I got my amulet, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. The scene is this. After dropping Slake off at the point where you had left your iron coach, I'll catch up with you later. He sees which direction you guys disappear in a localized sandstorm as you guys are heading out maybe a mile away to, or a couple of miles away to where the stone lion is. You had passed the stone lion before, but I think you just ignored it and kept on your journey to the mines of Karak. Slake stays behind, and he starts looking through big drifts of sand, and he's trunching around, poking a spear into the ground. Eventually, he falls to all fours and begins digging with his hands, sand tinking up against his armor in a constant wave with the winds. He then stops what he's doing. His head snaps off to the side, and he hears the growling of cats and glow coming from the sands. All right, you nasty kitties. He punches his hand a couple of times. I'm ready for you. The group, as they were crawling towards the stone lion, as they were trying to keep the sands from getting in their eyes and from breathing too much of the dust in, the sands this time are a mixture of ash as well as sand. Apparently, the Imulga Mons eruption has dumped some of the ash here. You thought you heard Slake yell. You realize that ghosts aren't going to do much to him, given his half-construct state. But there is basically a short cutscene as Slake is going to face off with some of the ghostly lion foes left behind by the Ghost Lord. I'm going to take the rest of the tokens and move them to a map.
Go Slake.
You got this. Hopefully they don't hit one of your 2 weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's no ability drain and immune to the negative energy. So
Right. It's fear.
And then his fists are magical finally, are considered magical. So yeah, maybe they make him run away for a little bit. That's kind of the worst
I'm not
thing.
scared, you're scared.
Yeah. Yep. Make this player visible.
It just takes one ghost showing up with the aging touch, and the Slake comes back all rusty.
He's got screws all busted up. It's like, purple my arm.
Ghost Lord's lair. All right, so we are worshiping Garrix this day.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming Garrix worked.
Garrix does work.
Okay.
You feel that Garrix has an intense jealousy and possessiveness over something that is not his, that being Volcanica itself.
Mm-hmm.
Brennos has this urge to dominate, to destroy and dominate and show how strong he is.
Swinging,
Yes.
I am the big swinging card here.
Is this the first time that you've called out to Garrix as one of your deities?
The first time I on a combat day, yeah.
Okay. Garrix seems to ignite something inside of you. Any weapon you wield today is going to be considered fiery.
There we go.
What domains did you select?
Fire, destruction, and scaly kind dragon.
Because you've got 3. Okay. One of your fire spells today, you can spend chaos or evil to make empowered or maximized, treating your alignment points as if they were effective spell levels.
Cool.
He doesn't talk to you. It's more like visions of flame and just this irritability that would be quite dangerous on a warrior.
It's the
You're a guy right before he does like bench presses. Ah!
We're going to the middle of the desert to attack a ghost lord's lair. Now is the right time to be this aggressive.
All right, I'm going to share on screen what the head of the lion lair looks like. It looks a little bit less like a lion and more like a manticore. The body is definitely a lion, and it's sort of sitting on all fours in the middle of this ruinous expanse. There are stairs that go up underneath the lion's chin, like it's going up into its mouth, like through the base of its mane. You thought you saw some ghostly lights, but they've retreated, and the visibility out here is poor. It might be druidic magic. Of course, you don't have Sunny here to verify, but there is a lot of wind and a lot of dust. Firing missile weapons out here would be useless today.
Don't think we have a single ranged attack guy. We accept this trade.
Just dust and grit. The party approaches and finds themselves standing before this strange edifice. This building, this statue that is a building, or a building that is a statue.
Okay, so I believe the whole party has the delayed consumption death wards.
Yeah, we still have those.
Okay.
Just making sure everybody knows. I mean, it is called the Ghost Lord's Lair, not the alive thing that totally isn't going to drain you lair.
All right. Upon further inspection, you do realize that the cavern, there is a cavern at the top of the stairs. You do see that there are all sorts of bones that are littering the stairs behind 2 statues of rearing lions, and strange tracks that are along the stairs.
Okay, there's already potions that Cog's doing, right?
Some rotting viscera along the stairs themselves, and while it looked like from afar the stairs going up into the thing's mouth, the opening is actually underneath its mouth, and its mouth is open, and the open mouth of the dragon could also be a balcony. So there's 2 ways into this place. I assume you guys have been nothing has come out to attack you. I assume you guys have been putting up your spells and your buffs as you've been going. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we even go in,
Yep.
Barnabus is going to try and legend lore the lair itself.
Okay.
It's pretty iconic looking.
Yeah, Barnabus, instead of going in or kind of like, I wouldn't say order, but like suggest that you kind of like that we proceed forward. Of course, he orders around Aemon. He ends up kind kind of buffeting against the buffeting wind and sand. He finds his way to one of the large toes of the paw of the statue. The statue building might be magically reinforced, but it's been rounded with age. It is weathered. It's weathered poorly. Well, it's weathered well given its age, but there are signs of it being weathered. You go and touch it, and immediately there is power in this place, even without your spell. How long does it take to cast?
He's doing it with a mythic point.
Okay. And you want me to type up something off the cuff? Okay, give me a second. Notepad.
I kind of thought you said you had it ready. I don't know.
I had the lair and dungeon ready. I didn't. Give me a second. It's fine. Just give me a second.
That's the same kind of "it's fine" I get when I forget something at the grocery store. It's fine. We'll go with that.
I didn't need it anyway. I don't believe you. I don't believe this is fine at all.
I suspect you're lying.
How dare you suggest I'm lying? Oh, crap. How do I win? You don't.
Victory is an illusion.
You played the game, therefore you are wrong.
Was
And always shall be.
What kind of game are we playing here, lads? Poetry D&D.
Well, here's the thing. If a creature of legendary status has now taken over this lair, we're calling it the Ghost Lord's lair, but the legend lore will come back and say, "Oh, the worm that walks now chills here," you know, or whatever.
I think that would be good to know. There could very well be a scene of, guys, we need to rethink this.
What you mean? We'll just destroy them. Burn it to the ground.
No.
Make the rubble bounce. I don't know if you've ever read the Scaly Domain. The Scaly Kind Domain.
It's a long time ago.
It's actually really good. It's actually got some like mediocre spells, but some really, really good powers.
Cool powers, yeah.
Yep. A gaze attack that causes fascination. That's just
Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
versus like 1d6 plus 2 fire damage. Fireball. Touch attack for dazzle. Glitter.
this would be... I'm trying to think the things... I'm like filtering out the things that are not legendary and then talking about the things that are legendary. It also houses the...
Oh, there's legendary things inside. Or artifacts. Doesn't this also make you tired? Or are you doing the legend lore, like the long one, but using the thing to make it really fast?
He's using a mythic point.
So instead of taking the standard action or
Instead of taking
that takes con damage.
Yep.
And I think you accidentally learned the Ghost Lord's name. Give me a second. It's written down in a non-searchable PDF. So,
okay.
It's Gus. He really, really.
It goes from the Ghost Lord's lair to Gus's place. Sounds a lot less intimidating now, doesn't it, guys?
Billy's Pleasure Dome. Just an N64 to
Billy's.
Mardigan's man cave.
Deck place of
I'm so glad we didn't have to fight the Ghost Lord 8 times.
Yeah, that would have really, really sucked.
Yeah, because he was hard to kill. And threw out a ton of conditions when he slapped your ass.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
like conditions? I got all sorts of conditions. It's like fatigued and sickened and negative levels. The dragon kind gets like a breath weapon and a fascinating gaze attack, and then eventually they get like eye bite, which is a decent spell.
Yeah.
Like that. It's good to worship dragons, apparently.
I'm forgetting a name. I'm gonna ask.
Fox, we miss you.
Who is Widget's enemy on Tarak?
Oh, give me 1 second. That's an interesting statement. You don't mean like an Arlen or a...
No, who does he think leads the shadows?
Oh, sorry, I've got his name. Yes, I do have that written down here because I have his pot.
No, those are the shadow knights and lords and ladies or whatever.
Yeah, so Lorville.
No, that's not.
Yeah, Lorville the Dusk Lord.
Who's their master?
Oh.
Well, there's the Overshadow, but I don't think he leads them. And there's the Lord Ralominar, but I think
got
he's...
it. You gave me what I wanted. Okay, the Lion of Thornwaste. Once the lair of the cannibalistic lion shaman, an enemy of the people of Rest, the Lion of Thornwaste became the death place of Urikel Zarl and the place of his rise to undeath as the Ghost Lord. It houses the Ghost Lord's favorite artifact, the heart of the Ghost Lion. It also houses the corrupted seed of Yggdrasil, a gift from the Emperor Worm that walks by means of trade with the Obershadow. Many heroes and villains have died attempting to face the Ghost Lord in this lair.
That's why we do. That's why we succeed.
Okay, Barnabas is just spilling this out like a freaking oracle.
I don't understand.
He
half
goes
of that
into
went.
his own. He goes into his own. Dispose of. I'm better.
Well, I guess it's smart that we didn't fight him in his lair then.
Yes, it's been very bad.
What is a corrupted seed of Yggdrasil?
Well, according to legend, Barnabas, make a check. History, I'm guessing, or religion.
Okay, so you guys are yelling above the sandstorm right now. Every time you open your mouth, there's sand going in your mouths. You've moved over to the side of the lion's paw.
Mm-hmm.
While Barnabas was about to give a lecture on what Yggdrasil, the world tree, was, I'm going to roll a perception check.
Yeah, I'd like to put some drink my stuff.
You were able to drink your stuff. Like
I was able to drink my stuff.
Yeah, your 10
Okay,
minutes are all up.
so
So
Your
good
10
hope,
minutes may or may not be.
my X-ray ring has been activated for 1 minute.
Okay.
And then that's the new change that's been added, and then I'll add the other stuff in.
And under Barnabas's divinations, I'm just going to add this one. This is legend lore of the Lion of the Thornwastes. Okay, let me see how sneaky this thing is.
if it's a ghost, it's probably pretty sneaky.
And again, this is a day where I pray to have my fists good instead of lawful.
If it's a choice made every day, you might want to make a note that they're always good. Unless
Yeah,
otherwise-
I said it. I said it a while ago, but I'll note it at the top of his sheet.
There you go. That's a good.
Okay. Notice you guys standing around casting spells outside of the ghost thing. You guys didn't see anything at this point.
It's already there.
All right, Barnabas, you're talking about what is the Yggdrasil?
What is the corrupted seed of Yggdrasil? Or what could it be if I don't know what it is?
You know,
Possibly.
there. So the Ghost Lord had minions that were living creatures that you've actually interacted with. So someone could have seen this. So it is knowledge that even though it was owned by this horribly corrupt and powerful mythic being,
Someone got drunk.
it's yeah. What are you using to?
Seeing as it's Yggdrasil and there was a cult here, I'm going to go with religion.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to roll. Don't do that very often. I usually take 10, but I'm going to roll today. See if I get it. All right. I will add a inspiration point. Good Hope is going. Nat 20, 83. Oh, holy shit! That's Matt. That was I rolled max. Okay, awesome. 83.
Okay, and then do you know what Yggdrasil is? Has this come up with Barnabas yet?
I don't think it has.
Give me one for Yggdrasil, just to see.
I'll take 10, 65.
Okay. So you know that Yggdrasil, the world tree, is a living entity of great age and size that actually impacts the planes, and it can be used as a way to walk between planes and also to walk between worlds, held up in its branches by mythology. More so, it grows like a root into things. It's less of a tree, and more of this massive interdimensional root system.
Okay.
That seems to look like trees. And gods have people can make contact with it. It actually grants spells. And you know that in the more recent era, Yggdrasil has been burned